tons and tons of just quality guys who ended up going on to play for the vaunted Victoria Shamrocks. And so long story short, 94, 98, I play in the National Lacrosse League for the Philadelphia Wings. You know, I went through the whole tryout process. Tryouts back then were an interesting dynamic. It was 2 weekends, 2 sessions per weekend. So you played Saturday, you played Sunday, came back the next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, picked the team. So, like, you don't have a whole lot of opportunity. And basically, Tony Resch, who was the head coach, who's a legendary coach, right? Yeah. Tony Resch, roll the ball out and you scrimmaged pretty much all 4 sessions. It wasn't a lot of teaching. There wasn't a lot of showing guys how to play. I would have been screwed. I don't know, man. I think you actually would have been good in that scenario because you could have just play. And it wasn't overly technical. Now it's super technical. The game is super technical now in comparison to the track meet that we used to call that game. And it was literally you had 4 sessions to make a team. So you play, right? And I actually think you would have done well. I mean, don't you think in a open, roll the ball out, I'm just going to go play lacrosse, I don't have to think about what I'm doing, play the game, you would have done better?
If it was settled 5s, absolutely not. I needed Greg Downing holding my hand, talking to me about what open is, because as you know, we've kind of discussed, coming from the Notre Dame defensive system, it was play your guy, don't worry about the pick. So I was set up to just get blindsided. I think it would have been better for transition, and I think it would have been better in certain situations like that.
So what you're saying is no National Lacrosse League team should ever draft a Notre Dame player?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it would take a special talent and someone who's much smarter than me where it can click.
So if John Arlotta listens to this, right, I should, or Jerry Byrne and some of my friends that might listen to this, I'm kidding about the Notre Dame thing.
The tough part was I was 75s across the board. I didn't excel particularly at defense. I didn't excel particularly at offense. So when I came in, I was just bad enough to not even get a sniff at offense, and I was just bad enough to not truly understand the defense.
But you could just shoot the shit out of the ball in transition.
Kind of.
The step down in transition, Nick Ossello split to a – like that was devastating for defenses.
Well, the nice thing was it was perfect for college, and then when you get to pros and they figure you out, you know, when you get to be a one-trick pony, because I faced off in college too, and I was a good face-off guy in college, because you run into Trevor Baptiste once a year,
right,
and he slaps you around, and then you run into him in the playoffs, and in between that, there's a bunch of, you know, to toot my own horn, lesser athletic Nick Ossello guys who were just thrown out there on face-off because face-off wasn't a highly technical position. You get to the pros, face-off is a highly technical position. Okay, so I'm not a good face-off guy. You get to the pros, these transition guys, they already know my right-to-right split. I sure as shit didn't develop my left hand. So I excelled in college.
They didn't work on that with the farmers?
No. Oh, my God, the farmers. Showing up thinking that I was good in college and my head was spinning. No, I think the game is becoming more and more specialized where you have very good, technically sound guys who can communicate on defense, where I could just kind of coast off athleticism in college, and I could coast off of face-offs from college, and I could coast off a lot of that. And then when it came down to really having the game click and slow down, that was a 5-year process where the only experience I got was in training camp. And then it was play a game if you made the roster, wait 4 weeks, forget everything you learned about in that game, play another game, and just kind of blow it.
Are you talking about the NLL? Are you talking about PLL as well?
NLL, 99% NLL with that. PLL, it's just kind of like you need to just be better than everybody else, and whatever you excelled in college can probably translate.
Or have a lot of followers on social media.
Or have clout. One of the two.
Couldn't resist. So,
I will never disagree with that.